Hello, good morning. Welcome to Stamp and Chat. Today it is the 1st of July. We are halfway through the year and today we've got some new products launching. So I will quickly just run through those. We've got a couple of new kits that have landed today, and we've got the new online exclusives that I've been raving about, the Charming Day. So that is now live. You can purchase that one. I am just making a few checks before we go any further. What else do I need to tell you? It's hot. It is hot in it. I've just checked before I went live and I'm a couple of minutes late. I was just grabbing a few bits and trying to just do something else that I could show you. But it's 26 degrees in the studio and I came over at 7 this morning and opened up all the windows. There's just not a lot of air flowing. So, I mean, it's nice to be warm, but when it's too warm, it just makes everything kind of more difficult, doesn't it? And more tiring. So if you are joining me, please do say hello. It's lovely to know who's here. I'm going to set you down on my desk, show you the Charming Day, which I used for my last live. And we're going to create another card, but we're going to use some more of the die cuts on this one because I just think they're so beautiful. So bear with the palm of my hand. Get you down on the desk and hope and pray that the Zoom is as pain-free as possible. And it's not really. I don't know why it does that very large angle. Right, let me just plug in my light because I have my iPad charging. Got my mini fan charging as well, just in case I'm heading out anywhere. Okay, let's just squidge a little bit. Actually, let's move our grid. Got some really old grid paper that I'm using up as well. And it's single-sided. Does anybody remember that? It's just got centimetres on, and I'm definitely an inches girl and I do rely on my grid paper a lot. So yeah, can only use one side of this. Of course we can use the other side, but there's no grid. Who loves their grid paper? Do you use grid paper? If not, I'm wondering why. Because for me it just helps to get everything straight. Morning Jill, how are you doing? Excited to see me play with the Charming Day? Yeah, I mean, don't get too excited because you know me, when I'm on a roll with something, everything kind of is the same but different. But we are going to be doing a bit of blending today, and I'm going to be using a couple of the foliage die cuts. So if you've not seen this anywhere, where have you been? Also, I'm thinking the GDP Global Design Project have a challenge every week, and this week's challenge is flowers. So I could well be entering into that challenge. It is warm. I am so hot. So I'm going to have to stop complaining about that. But if you've not seen this set, it's on the online exclusives. It's £22 to buy on its own. It's a cling stamp, so it's red rubber. And you've got these beautiful flowery images and leaf image, and then some great font words as well that go with it. The die set is lovely, as you can see. You've got 8 dies in there. Die set on its own is £33, but if you buy it as a bundle with the stamp set, then it's £49.50, so you save yourself 10%. But it's just such a lovely set. I did run through some of the die cuts on my last live, but this is the large one. This is this one here, which I need to poke out those bits of cardstock that are still in there. But how lovely is that? I can see some of you creative people doing wonders with these plain die cuts. Right, let us get rolling because I don't think I need to be on here too long today because it's so warm. And to be honest, I've got lots of filming that I need to do. So I want to kind of get that done before the sun comes around, because by about lunchtime, the sun starts coming around to the side of the studio and it gets pretty warm. I've got some water to keep me going. I don't need that one. I've put another set by the side of me because I've been using this for some of my filming, just in case we need that little splat stamp, which is super, super handy. So what are we starting with? Got two colours here, Pretty and Pink and Petal Pink, which doesn't look like Petal Pink. Let's grab my kit, I should say. So I'm also using my Memento ink for some stamping. Oh, I also need, which I've put away, I can show you that because that's a new one. I need my blends in, I've got Petal Pink, SU 500, which to me is like a pecan pie. Good evening, Shaz. How you doing, my lovely? How are you doing? You've been busy cooking away with that thermi. So, light soft seafoam and light mossy meadow. You could use any other darker green to go with the seafoam, to be honest. Let's put those in my basket out of the way because you know I like things to be tidy. And I've also got two blending brushes, a large one and a small one, and a couple of, now what do we call these now? Let me grab my new pack. Water painters. I'm used to calling them aqua painters. Which drawer are they in? Water painters. So when you buy them, I've got a brand new pack here. When you buy them, they come in a pack of 3 and they've got different like chisel tips on the end of them. So you've got a really fine one, a larger brush, and then this more kind of like arty one for sort of real slapping colour down and painting. So those are the water painters. Now I was going to show you quickly before my iPad disappears, before we start crafting, let me just quickly show you what is happening new today. So we have, if I could get my iPad going, my battery is low, but under the new arrivals section, we've got a couple of new kits, and then we've got all of our online exclusive. This is the ribbon I've got here. So it's the Mossy Meadow and Gold. So it's very Mossy Meadow with a gold shimmer on that side. And then when you turn it over, you've got gold. Shaz, I have to look closer because I can't see my MacBook. Have you tried the Secret C for stamping instead of Memento? I have not tried that. I will give that a try. Thank you. Tractor and Co. Exciting. I'm going to get to the stamp set and show you that one. So we've got lots of lovely new things coming up. There are some Christmas things in here. There are some Halloween things. But look how cute this set is. Tractor and Co. I mean, typical for me where I live. The grandchildren love tractors, and we've got all sorts of things there that you can put in the trailer. So what a lovely set. And we've got kind of general greetings in there. Thinking of you, it's your birthday. Season's greetings for if you want to pop those trees in there. And of course, these elements can be put on other things as well. So how cute is that? I know lots of people would love a Christmas card like that. But then we also have our 2 new kits that have landed. So this one is very interesting. I really do like this. So it's got lovely birthday die cuts. Let's go to the contents. Oh, it looks delicious, doesn't it? So we've got card bases, we've got die cut pieces, die cut shapes, frames here that look absolutely beautiful. And then of course envelopes. Got an ink spot here in Lost Lagoon and your block. And then the stamps are really cute as well. Let's eat cake, time to celebrate, wishing you another year as sweet as you, blah de blah. But once you buy this, once you buy this kit, that stamp set, you can just use on and on and on. How lovely are these? I envisage some lovely scrapbooking layouts using all of these elements as well. So I've got an order going through today. So if you are a customer of mine and there's something that you fancy and you don't want to do the home delivery, then you can drop me a line and I can place your order for you and post it out. Right, that's a quick look. You can go ahead after and have a look online at that. So back to our project. Let's grab some kit pieces out. Do you know what? Yesterday was like the hottest day here. It was in the early 30s. It was pretty unbearable. But today is definitely, even though it's overcast at the moment, I can see a little bit of blue sky, but it's still kind of quite muggy. I can see trees moving, but I'm not feeling it over here. Okay, some of my favourite colours. And I was really, really tempted by using some of these papers. So these are the Floral Charm pattern papers that go alongside the Charming Day stamps. I've shown you these, but in case you haven't caught the replay, this is all I've got left of this sheet. It's obviously my favourite, and I have been filming things with it. So we've got lots of flowery sides and then kind of plain, like very delicate pattern reverse. So we've just got some really lovely papers in here. So this is the Floral Charm. And then we go back to the beginning. Aren't they lovely? They're just so usable. As I said, I can see myself using all of those pieces in that pack. So we're going to start off. What do I want to do first? Let us stamp our flower because I want it to dry before we start adding in the colour. Now, I have mounted mine up ready, so we're going to use this little flower again. Aren't they just, Shaz, the papers are just gorgeous, aren't they? So let us ink. Can you see what I'm doing? They're just so usable. I mean, I am the kind of person who struggles with lots of bold patterns on my cards. It's something I do strive to improve with. I just love my white space. I can't help it. I just love it. Let's chop that one off. And while we're here, we're going to grab another skinny strip. And I've pulled out the happy birthday because it kind of works well for my card. And I've just mounted that one up onto a long block. And we're going to stamp that one out too. And I was wondering, for my finished card, we might do something different with our greeting. But for now, we'll stamp this. Oops. Oh, that just went all over my card bits. Just dropped that right in the ink and it's scooched right the way along my card pieces. Let's just wipe that off before that transfers everywhere else. Let's hope it's not going to be a dropsy kind of day today. Don't need any of those kind of days when we're going to be in the studio filming. So what have we all been up to? Have we had a good weekend? We had a kind of busy weekend, and I want to say productive, but it was warm, so there's only so much you can do without wearing yourself out, isn't it, when it's warm? So I'm going to put both of those to one side for a minute, and we're going to start with, let's start with die cutting out some of those elements. Let's grab in our cutting plate, which is looking very well used, and pull back in those dies. And today we're just going to use this lovely kind of budded foliage and the lovely leaf, although I was very tempted with the leaves from this one just because they're quite petite. Maybe we'll cut one of those as well. just in case we decide to use them. So how can we best save paper? It's always a task, isn't it? Although I know we're not all quite as frugal with our craft supplies. I'm going to turn it that way because my plate is slightly curved, and just be careful. Oh no, it's all gone to pot. I didn't want those two to overlap. This is why sometimes, because this plate is kind of curvy and they all move around a bit, this plate is slightly curved over that way, so I don't want these two to touch, or any of them to touch and run over each other. Do you know what? Let's just tape them and then they won't go anywhere, will they? That's it. Problem solved, she says. Right, we're going to pick that up, run that through the machine, and the beauty will be revealed. So I just wound that in and wound that back out. It doesn't need a double cut, but because of all the markings on the plate, if I ran this bottom part of that cardstock through as well, it would sort of leave an etched mark across it. So I'm just going to push these out. Hi Renee, how are you doing, my lovely? Are you doing well? We're just saying how warm it is here. I know you guys, when we spoke a couple of weeks ago, you were all a bit chilly, hiding under blankets and whatnot, whereas we're all melting here in the UK as we're having this little heat wave. We are forecast a bit of rain tomorrow, which I'm not usually a fan of rain, but I am quite welcoming it. If it's just for one day, and it won't be much, it probably won't even touch the ground, if you know what I mean, enough to absorb. Right, we need to just cut one more of these. But yeah, the garden, the grass, the farmers, the reservoirs, everyone could do with it, I guess. So we're just going to run that one through. My runner beans are just about hanging in there. We're watering them morning and night. They're looking I was late putting them in, so they're not looking as great as they should be. I just love the negative bits as well. But they're still alive. They're still kind of trying to grow up the poles. But I'm not holding my breath with them. It's been so warm. And it's too warm for what I've had in the greenhouse as well. The tomatoes just, nothing's really happening this year. So maybe next year, although I think my veg garden is going to need a bit of an overhaul for next year, because I've got a really great space, and I'm not sounding ungrateful by any means, because I'm very lucky to have it. But I've got a few borders like in the ground that are surrounded by like wooden sleepers, and the sleepers now are starting to rot and sort of come away from like the edging, and the birds get in there and they scooch all the mud out. They have little mud baths, and there's like the mud goes on the path, and it's not bringing me joy, shall we say. I can scroll through my phone and find the most gorgeous pictures of all the produce I had growing a few years back, but the last 2-3 years with family things going on. What is that? Where did that come from? Off the bottom of my plate, more than likely. Let's have a look. Yes, that needs a good clean under there. Yeah, with family things and grandchildren, and it just hasn't really been the time to focus. But it's a shame, because like I've got a lovely greenhouse, and we gave it a really good spring clean this year, and there's hardly anything happening in there. But let's say hopefully next year. And it is really difficult if you go away, isn't it? If you're at home all of the time, then it's not so bad, because you're around for watering. We do have some watering systems in place here, but I just don't want to have to rely on other people. Renee, you're cold. Oh, bless you. I'm sending you some warm vibes. We've got plenty of it here. It's got a long way to come, but these die cuts, you've got these beautiful leaves and then like these little buds here. There's just so many things you can do. And then I love this leaf as well, just because I love, you know you're old when you love a leaf, but I just love the shape of this one. And then this is a really good die cut as well, but look, these are just divine. I just love those little leaf trios. So we might use those, we'll see. Right, we're gonna keep those to one side. Shall we colour this one in quickly? Yeah. Let's have a little drink as well while we're here. Trying to stay as hydrated as possible. Right, I've got an order on its way, and I've got some new seafoam pens coming, because this one, I don't know what's happened to it, but it's got a crack in it. Whether someone's tried to push the lid back in when it's not. It's hard to explain, but inside, can I show you? Inside the barrel there, you've got like a slot for the nib to go down in, and sometimes when people put them back on, the pen's at the wrong angle and it can cause all sorts of problems. But this one here, if I open it, if I can open it on view, this, oh, can you believe it did that? I cannot believe that. The last, I don't know how many times I've tried to open this, it comes completely, the bit comes out and then it reveals the barrel, but it sorted itself today. So it did that because I warned it. But yeah, I've got some more of these on the way. I've definitely got a new pack of Petal Pink because we're going to be using these at this month's classes. Shaz, you've had an amazing weekend. You've had live music with 2 Australian performers, Tim Campbell and Anthony Callier on Friday. Learning to dance at a friend's 30th birthday on Saturday, and then on Sunday you went for an hour and a half drive to the beach and lunch out with your beautiful family and back home to play Snakes and Ladders. Snakes and Ladders sounds fun. That's a good one. My little grandchildren would love that. You're freezing there at the moment, and you had 16 millimetres over the weekend. Wow. We're desperate for rain here. We really are. What a fabulous weekend. Do you know what? Family is just what makes the world go round, isn't it? To me, family is just, that's what life is about. I'm very blessed to have all of my family close by as well. They're not spread around. So I'm going to start with my flower, and I've just used the SU 500 for the centre, and then I'm going to go with the light Petal Pink and just kind of hover around the outside like I did on the last card I shared with you. And then we're just going to do a little bit of dottage on the petals, and that is it. That is the colouring of this flower, and it is kind of giving me magnolia vibes. It probably doesn't show up that well here. Let's add another little bit of Petal Pink around the edge because that's looking quite pale. I might have used the dark on the last one. And then we'll go in with the leaves with the light soft sea foam first, and then on the vein I'll go in with the darker green. I've got Mossy Meadow, but Old Olive would work, or Garden Green, and then you just need to blend the two together. I feel that the dark soft sea foam doesn't give enough of a contrast for what I'm looking for on this one. What did we do at the weekend? So Jay and I got up Saturday morning. We did a bit of gardening, you know, first thing before it got too warm. Did we go? Where did we go Saturday? Oh, my brain. Maybe we didn't go. We went out for dinner on Friday night. We supported local on Friday evening. We went over to Ledbury. There's a nice restaurant over there. It is actually a hotel, but I think it's only got 2 rooms. It's family run and they have their own farm. So a lot of the produce, the meat that is used in their kitchen is from their own farm. And they kind of supply all of their meals are created using local suppliers as well. So that kind of means a lot to me. And the food is really good there as well. And they had all of their like bifold doors open, so even though we were just sat on the inside of the restaurant, it was almost like we were al fresco because we were kind of like half in and half out. So I had a nice glass of wine, I had my usual burger. If you follow me on my stories on Instagram, you will have seen that. For me, I am getting more adventurous, but I have a lot of tummy issues with garlic, and I am working on it. I'm working on it since the beginning of this year. I've been doing more cooking with garlic because I love it. I absolutely love garlic, but it upsets me, let's just say. And it doesn't just upset me the next day, it can last up to a week. It has done a week to 10 days. So it really did put me off eating it for a while. Until my gorgeous friend Moni said to me that I need to start eating it, I need to start trying it. So I did. I've started cooking with it, and I'm a bit of a lightweight. I only maybe use 1 large garlic clove when I'm cooking, and I take the centre part out, you know, that very centre piece, which some people have said that's what gives you like the indigestion. So I take that out, and touch wood, I'm okay. So I did have a little bit of garlic bread on Friday night, which is like a treat, a rare treat. Right, I'm going to trim around my happy birthday. So that was Friday night. Saturday, I think we did gardening. I want to say, we went out to have a coffee later in the afternoon, that's right. And we really wanted to like support a small business rather than doing like the general chain. And we headed in the direction of Cheltenham, which is like our town, and thought, we'll go and support this little garden centre that we know over towards Cheltenham. And then when we got there, we're so fussy, honestly. We weren't in love with the selection of treats, and we wanted a treat with our coffee. So we ended up leaving there and then finding somewhere else. And do you know where we ended up? Starbucks, yeah. It wasn't the greatest experience of my life, and I haven't been into Starbucks for a long time, but it served its purpose. And so we had our coffee, we did share something savoury, and did we share a treat? Not sure we did, I can't even remember. And then we did our feed shop, went to M&S to do our food shop, and then we went home and we lit the barbecue. Or did we light the barbecue? No, we lit the barbecue Sunday night. Oh, I know what we did on Saturday night. So it does go against the grain a bit in here. Right, we're just going to locate this die to cut this out. I'm rambling a bit now about my life story of my weekend, but if you know me, if you come to my classes, if you chat to me, you know how passionate I am about fueling my body inside and out with goodness. Now that doesn't mean that I don't eat processed food, because I do, and probably the worst processed food that enters our house are crisps. They are so bad for you, yet they are so good. So it's one of our pitfalls, and even in a bid to try and not eat as many at the weekend, it's difficult. How beautiful is this flower? So where I am going with this, hello, if you're joining, please do say hi. You can see that some more people are popping in. So yeah, we were in M&S, and we have discovered that M&S do this fake away. It's a Chinese fake away, and it's really good. Really good. Where we live, we're not kind of out in the sticks. We are a little bit. We're not in the middle of absolutely nowhere. We've got a village either side of us. We've got a village shop a couple of miles away. But we don't get takeaway deliveries where we live. It's not a thing. We're too far out. So takeaways sometimes happen on a Sunday evening. If we visit family, or if family visit us, they bring us one. I've just scooched this in the middle. Did you see me do that with my Take Your Pick tool? I've just really given it some life. Hopefully you can see that. So anyway, we discovered this fake away, and it has like chicken and black bean sauce. It has sweet and sour chicken. It's got rice. It's got noodles. It has spring rolls. It's got like sweet chili sauce. It's also got like, they're not sweet and sour chicken balls. They are kind of that kind of thing. They're like battered chicken. So highly processed, but sometimes we do have a bit of a beige night over a weekend. And Saturday night was definitely our beige night. So yeah, we had this takeaway. And if you are near an M&S and you like a bit of a Chinese takeaway, honestly, try this one. I can't tell you what it's called. It's £12 and it comes in one of those like takeaway box things. But it's the Chinese one. I don't think they do many different varieties, but it is really, really good. And I mean, I'm not a massive eater, and Jay's not a massive eater too, but there's plenty for two of us. More than plenty, more than enough. Right, so that was what we did on Saturday night. So let's put these pieces to one side. Now, I've got my base card, which I scooched ink all over it. Let's fold this one. So it measures 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and it's petal pink. Not petal pink, it's pretty in pink. This is petal pink. Look at these colours together. They just scream sorbet ice cream to me. Petal pink measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. And then our matting layer of basic white is an 1/8 less at 3 1/2 by 5 1/8. So we're going to take our white piece. I'm going to move those pens away because we don't need them. We're going to bring in a petal pink and a pretty in pink ink pad. I've got a large and a small blending brush, and we need a scrap of paper so that our one underneath stays nice and clean. And we're going to add some colour using the blending brush. So let's start with petal pink. And this one, it could do with a bit of a re-ink. Can you see where I've been using it? It's quite sort of pale in the middle, but it's going to be fine for what we're doing. Can you see? So we're going to pick up in a circular motion. I'm going to take that initial bit off, and then we're just going to add colour. And this could take me a minute to build up this colour. Just going to keep adding. And I find like petal pink is quite forgiving when you're using a blending brush. When you're using a small blending brush, the colour can go down really intense really quickly. So I will do a demonstration of that in a moment and show you what can happen if you're not kind of careful with these brushes. And you know, nothing is ever wrong. There's never no wrong way, but it depends on the desired look. So we just need to add a little bit more colour, because at the minute we've got a bit of a cloudy look. I can still see a bit of white popping through. So you can make this as intense or as subtle as you wish. That might be enough for now. So we've just added colour, and that's probably not as, I'll show you on the back of my bag. It's not as intense on screen as what it actually is in real life. It does vary. Right, we're going to close up that ink pad. We'll open up the Pretty in Pink. Now this is where you have to be careful, and it's because we've got a smaller head on the brush, can you see? So really could do with a larger brush for doing a larger area, but I know that I've used this one for Pretty in Pink, so I'm going to continue using it. I'm just going to be careful. So I'm picking up in a circular motion. Now if I go straight down like this, can you see how intense that is? So I need to take a little bit off to start with so that we don't get like a massive splodge in one place. So I'm just going to kind of use up everything that's on my brush and then go back in for some more colour after. And it will kind of gravitate around the edge as well. So we'll pick some up, take a bit off, gently to start with, and then applying more pressure as we go. So we're just creating like a bit of a mottled background here. And I think that's probably enough. It's a bit harsh around the edges, but it will be fine. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Let's blend those two together a bit. So we've just got this, I hope you can see that, because it's not, when I'm looking through my phone, it's not showing up greatly. And then I pulled out my white re-inker and my Petal Pink re-inker. Now on my original I did do white, and then when it dried it didn't show up, but I can see it a little bit. So I'm going to go and have another go with the white. So what I've done is taken a little block, or whatever you've got, if you've got your silicone mat, just going to put a bit of white re-inker on there. And this one's brand new. Let's use this one. I'm not sure how wet I want this. That would be too wet. Let's just grab my tissue. Just going to soak up some of that. And I'm just going to, actually I might need a bit more. Can you see it's quite like a gloopy consistency? Right, let's squeeze a little more gently this time. I might have to heat dry this as well. This could all go terribly wrong. Should we practice? Let's have a practice, because practice is always good. What should we practice on? Let's find just a scrap. Let's just see how much comes off. So I've got the white on the end of my painter, and we're just gonna, yeah, see, we've got a lot of water on this brush. Can you see that big splodge? I think it's just, it might work, it might work. Let's pick up a little bit more. We'll go a bit more intense. I've got this tissue here that I'm just kind of drying around the base of the brush. Where I squeezed it, there was water there. So I'm not sure, I'm kind of not convinced it's watery enough, but let's give it a go. Oh gosh, that was a bit heavy. I'm getting more water rather than white. Oh goodness. You are definitely, let's just suck that back up. Never mind, that middle bit's going to be hidden, so that is fine. So we've got some definite splattage going on in the middle there, which is going to be hidden. The effect I was hoping for was more like just dots of white. So let us now go in with some Petal Pink. Just going to add a bit more colour to this. So with the Petal Pink, I gave my brushes a good wash before my live as well, which probably hasn't helped. So I've got a different brush because obviously my other one is full of white ink. That doesn't look pretty. Good job we're hiding at the middle of that. Let's just see how this comes out. Whether we've got like a good... If we get rid of the worst of it on there. You're all like, what are you doing? This is why I love a splat stamp, because you kind of know where you're at. I think that will do. Less is more. Let's just put the lids on those and I'll give them a wash after. And that's important. Give them a wash after. Right, we need to just let that dry for a little minute. Get that out of the way. Okay. Morning, Lucy-Anne. How are you doing? How are things with you? Morning, Belle. How are you doing? Are you a busy bee? I don't like the white splat in the middle, but I think it was just a little bit too watery where I'd washed my brush. So a little tip, wash your brushes out, let them dry for a little bit. So we just created like just a background, like mottled background on here. And what we're going to do, I think that is dry enough now, is get our Tombow going. I am warm, guys. I am not a warm person at all, and I always think if I'm warm, everybody else must be really hot, because I don't really find the heat. Like, our house is so warm. I had some candles on our dining room table. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you have to have a look at my stories. But they had totally melted and wilted over. It's quite funny. Belle, you've had better success white splats using alcohol and not water as the carrier. Interesting. Need to try that as well. Thank you. Lucy-Anne, you've fractured your foot. Oh my goodness. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? Right, at this point now, we're going to layer these two together. I'm covered in white splat. Oh, the birds are singing away out there. So I'm just going to layer these up. Do you know what? I'm supposed to be filming in here all morning. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to bear it. I might have to go and get the fan from the house, actually. The trouble is when I put the fan on, then you get a background noise. So I've just layered those up. Great big splat down there, but it's all part of, isn't it? My original looks better, I think. Right. Let's bring in our elements. We've got a sentiment, we've got a flower. We've got some die cut pieces and some foliage. Let's give everything a little curl. Do I need all of that? I think I only need a bit of this one. We could use that bit for something else. What do we do on Sunday? Where do we go? We went shopping on Sunday. Jason hates shopping. And Kerry hates shopping with Jason. I love doing all things with him apart from shopping. He's not a huge shoppy fan. If he needs something for himself, he's happy to have a look, but he doesn't really like shopping. And on our way, when we're going shopping, we have a running commentary of we're going in this shop, and this shop, and then we're coming home, because he just hates it. I like a bit of shopping. I don't shop as much as I used to because I'm definitely on a mission. Right, what I'm doing is just adding some dimension behind my foliage. So I'm snipping the edge here so that I've got small enough strips. I'm using them up to fit on these leaves. So, what was I saying? Shopping. Yeah, I love a bit of shopping. But I'm definitely on a mission to buy less. And I've been really good this year. Really good, because do you know what? I think we can all, I've definitely been guilty in the past of going shopping just to have a browse and just buying things thinking that you need them, but then you end up with like a wardrobe that's just full of stuff that you don't really wear, way too much, and then you end up not liking it, and then it either goes to the charity shop or to landfill. So I'm on a mission. I set myself up like a monthly budget, and I try to buy maybe just one nice piece within that budget, or maybe two slightly lower priced items. I'm just going to snip these two up. I want some small pieces. And do you know what? It's been working. By having this budget, it's really made me think, like, if I am out anywhere, and I have rarely been shopping, which does help, because you know what it's like when you're out. You see things. Like, I love M&S at the moment. Their clothes are just lovely, but I've got very good at telling myself I just don't need it. And there are things that I need. I've got about 3 things on my list that I really do need, which I could do without, but they're things that I will complement the wardrobe that I've got, and it will make me get full use out of everything. Right, so we did go shopping, and I did buy myself some sweaty Betties, some leggings for the home for doing my morning stretch. Let's think what we're doing. Let's put a couple behind here as well. Do my morning stretches and maybe just lounging in the evening, just some comfies. So, and to be fair, I was with Jay, so I didn't really get a chance to browse properly. You know what it's like. Let's put another one in there as well, just to stabilise the end of that one. So let's start layering up. Actually, I do need a couple of other die cuts, but I'll do those in a second. No, let's do them now, and then we can put it all together. So that was Sunday. We went out mid-morning and got back after lunch. And then I'm just pulling in the Impressions of Bloom. Jay put the bells just asking, did we get back to watch the Grand Prix? I think we kind of missed the beginning, but he had it on record so that when we got back, he could sit and watch it. And I was doing a bit of gardening, a bit of tidying. I think it was Saturday. We did all the bamboo. We tidied up all the bamboo on Saturday, which was a good job. We've got quite a large section of bamboo at the back of the house. And we've had the landscaper in, when did he come in? Maybe February. And he topped it all out because it had got so tall and leggy and there was no greenery like at the bottom. So he topped it all out, and we were a bit horrified of how much he'd taken off the top. Just do these flowers. But it has started, what he's done was totally correct. It started to thicken up at the bottom now, and we've got new growth. But also with the new growth has come lots of weeds. So we needed to weed that raised border, which is such hard work, and it scratches, you probably can't see, but all up my arm. I had to go and put a long sleeve top on it, even though it was hot, because it was so scratchy. And the ivy that was coming over the fence. Oh, it's just never ending, isn't it? Gardening here seems never ending. So yeah, that was Saturday morning, we did do that, which was a good job done. So we did feel like we had a good sense of achievement, that we'd achieved a few things outside this weekend. And then Sunday, we had family over for a barbecue, which was lovely. It was just so lovely and warm outside. I just love sitting out to eat. And we overlooked the pond as well, and as we were eating, the ducks came in, flew in. So Luca and I took some bread down and fed the ducks. He loves that. He's got a good throw on him for 2.5-year-old. He can throw really well. He has to stand on the little bridge. We've got a little bridge over the brook or stream, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what it is, that runs through the garden, and it runs into the pond. And he was stood on the bridge throwing in the bread. Right, I'm just going to pop these two randomly down like this. I love this stem, absolutely love it. And then we're going to put in, not putting any foam pads on this because I've kind of like really manipulated it. I'm going to pop this one in where the join is, maybe over a little bit, like that. So it's just sitting in the middle there as like the focal point. And then my mission was to pop this in here like that, but I'm wondering if maybe just a couple of delicate, no, I think it needs something bigger because we've got quite a large bit up here. So yeah, we got to feed the ducks and the stale bread got used. We don't throw away a lot in this house. Usually if the sourdough goes stale, I pop it in the Thermomix and turn it into breadcrumbs. And then if you've got like some leftover halloumi, you can do the egg and flour and then the breadcrumbs and then in the air fryer. So don't throw anything away if we can help it. Let's pop our greeting in. Now this is where I couldn't decide where to put this. I was faffing a bit for ages, thinking whether to put it higher, whether to do it in a different colour, whether to white emboss onto maybe a bit of petal pink. Just couldn't decide. I'm going to leave it there for now though. And then to finish, we'll have a couple of these really cute flowers. So we did have a really full-on weekend. And we were exhausted by the end of it with the heat. Thank you, Shaz. Just wanted to use some of the die cuts today, and there are just so many ways you can sort of add colour. I want them a little bit tighter, so I'm just going to take my scory tool, give them a proper squidge. So they're quite tight. How sweet are they? And we'll just strategically place them. Pop them down. Oop. Stuck to me. Take your pick toolies out yet again. You know how much I rave about this tool. It's like my, apart from scissors, I guess, I just use it all of the time. All of the time. And there we go. If you've got a teeny tiny gem, you could maybe pop in the middle of there. I don't think I've got anything small enough. Let's have a little look. I'm not sure, I haven't been through here for ages, what has retired and what hasn't. What's still available, not that it really matters, because we all need to use up our stash. Now I haven't got anything really teeny tiny. I mean, the rhinestones would look quite sweet in there. I'm going to leave that for now. So, there There we go. So we've just created ourselves a little background. If you're like me and you like things soft and subtle, got some 3D going on. Like this kind of 3D effect where you're really like popping things out. It kind of needs to be hand delivered or posted in a box. Like if you can make boxes for your cards like this. I'm looking around because I should have some and I can't see one, but you can make a box to actually fit this, which I might do and add as a PDF, like a little 3D box so that it sits inside, it's not getting damaged. It makes it more special if it's just not shoved in an envelope. So that is that one. Here's the one that I did earlier, which is just a little less colour on both top and bottom, but you couldn't really, I can only just about see the white, and the petal pink splat is a little more subtle, but I can feel myself working on with these. Right, what I thought I'd do now, because I was having a little play earlier, how are we doing for time, and I've only been on for just an hour, is let's do a little bit more blending. Let's find a scrap. We've got a scrap, let's cut some. Right, let's do some more blending because it's fun. I'll try and go as quickly as I can. Right, let's start with Pretty in Pink. I'm going to show you just on one side what happens if you pick up ink and then you don't work gently with it, especially with these small brushes. You get this. And even though that doesn't look a lot, sometimes that is hard to get out if you're only wanting subtle colour. So always take a bit off and then start gently and then apply more pressure. Right, so this is going to look a little bit random for a minute. So just adding colour. Now my back's talking to me because I'm at the angle. Right, I'm just going to add some colour, and you'll see just how quickly this can kind of like come together. I might need to add a bit more of that in after. Let's put that to one side. Go with Petal Pink. Let's double check then if I got the right one. You could use more colour. You could do like real ombre. This one needs re-inking. It's going to take a little time to fill this in, but bear with me. Oh, it's making me hot as well. I'll have to stop and have a drink in a second. I'm melting. We're useless, aren't we? Honestly, I feel like here in the UK, we're just like flipping useless. Like we have a bit of hot weather and we can't cope. We have like snow and we definitely can't cope. We're not geared up for it. You know, we're kind of like, we have all weathers here in the UK. Our seasons are very much, like some days we have all 4 seasons in one day. We can have rain, snow, sun, wind, all of it in one day. But when we have, like, if we have rain for a couple of days, we get flooded. So, I mean, Mother Nature is really doing some strange things at the moment. She's been very unkind to some people, but we have to like learn to live with it, don't we, and deal with things. We've got to look after our planet, guys. We've all got to do our little bit. You know, I'm like a great ambassador for that, just like harping on about shop organic, recycle. But it's what I'm passionate about and it's important to me. And it makes me feel happy if I'm doing my little bit. I think that'll do because I'm actually getting rather warm and my arm muscles are aching. Right, let's just do both of those up. Put those away. Tidy, tidy. So we've just literally ended up with this really subtle, although I'm not a fan of how much the pink is like. I'm such a fluffer, aren't I? I'm supposed to have called it a day there. Just want to blend those bits in a little bit better. That's better. Probably doesn't look any different to you, but it definitely looks different on screen than it is in real life. And then what we're going to do, get rid of that. Let's pull back in those die cuts. Let's just cut one of those to be going on with. The sun hasn't even really come out yet. It's trying to. It's just overcast. Right. I mean, I can see that being cut out and you doing something with that bit. Let's pop this one out. And then we've got this beautiful, like two-tone. Maybe to make it better, you would need to maybe emphasize more on one colour, because I can see the pink here and then this is more petal pink. And then what I would probably do is just go back in use up that bit of ink that was left on there. Tap it all off. Could even go a darker colour than petal pink, maybe like pecan pie, something that's darker. Let it dry. Let's just grab a bit of white. And then imagine just layering those. Imagine doing the reverse. So doing it the reverse, so having a white background and then having these flowers popping out. Maybe I have to try that. Am I going to have time to try that? I say that. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah, maybe I've got more hours in my day that I'm not sure where they are, but maybe they are. Yes, Carrie. Hi, how are you doing, by the way? Nice to see you on here. I know it's tough times for a lot of people, isn't it? Here we are, happily crafting away with not a care in the world, and for some people, their lives are upside down. So I think, as I've said, maybe pecan pie might have worked as a better contrast on that. But think of the idea about these die cuts and what you can do with them. So I think that's it for me. Got that bit I can use up and do something with. Maybe, like I've said, I will do the reverse. If you're part of my community group, I need to sort out my winning entry for the challenge. Thank you to everybody that's taken part in that. There's quite a few of you this month. And the prize this month is a pack of this paper. So some lucky person will be having that. Actually, there's another one that I did here earlier, which is a little more pinky. They're just really pretty, delicate. Just love that one. Right, enough waffle. It's too warm in here. I hope you've enjoyed joining me. I've loved having you here. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, everybody. You're so kind. You're so kind. Hi, Margaret. How are you doing? Nice to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. So if you've kind of caught me halfway through, you can watch the replay. You know me, I love flowers. I think I'm definitely going to have to enter this onto the Global Design Project. Do go over there and have a look. If you're on Instagram, I mean, that's where I tend to gravitate a lot. Facebook, close your ears, but I don't love Facebook, really. I use it for business, but nothing else, really. But I love Instagram because it's just so visual. So I'm thinking I might have to pop this in for this week's challenge. But yeah, head over there if you're on Instagram. It's Global Design Project, and each week they have a challenge. So it could be a color challenge, it could be a theme, it could be case a designer. So just go over there, just give you a bit of inspiration, get you started. So right, I'm hoping you are loving this as much as I do. Thank you, Shaz. Thanks, guys. You're all so kind. And really, I want to just sit down and create more like this now, like the same but different. But I really need to eat that frog and finish the filming, don't I, before the sun comes round? Because otherwise, it means I've got to do it tomorrow. And yeah, just got to eat that frog, haven't we? Get it done. Right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be back really soon. I'll probably be back on my community group later. If I do get to do the reverse of this, maybe I should pop up and try and do another live and do it the opposite way around. We'll see. We shall see. No promises because time is busy. And yeah, if you've got any questions about anything, please get in touch. If you're catching me on the replay, please send me a comment. If you're on YouTube, I love reading your comments. Good or bad. I think I've only had one bad comment in the last couple of years. So I'm open to your feedback, negative or positive. But I do love replying to you as well. So do say hello in the comments or put hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. So I'm going to leave you with these projects. I'm going to send my love to you all and thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you all very soon. So bye for now.